Good morning, fellas. Give me just a moment. Michael M., I think this is a very black and white way of looking at things. This is under the weak men. That's another video that pulls a lot of comments. I'm glad I put it up there. You're either weak or strong. What sense of weak or strong are you referring to? If you mean it literally, then be glad the gene pool didn't select nothing but Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Otherwise, you'd be the odd man out. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger was not born exceptionally strong. You guys need to realize that. He started lifting weights at a young age. Okay, I believe it was high school. And he also used Dynabol. That's what they all used back then. Also, Dynabol is a steroid, in case you didn't know that. Also, have you ever heard of being in your league? If all of us here were here by the strongest, then no such thing would exist. It's why we find some people more attractive than others, and some people not at all. I really hope you see things more broadly. Another person that didn't quite get it. As you guys know, I'd already talked about leagues. Getting where you can fit in. The weak men I was talking about are the ones that give up. The ones that are these big brainiac types that don't try to strengthen themselves mentally or physically. They don't deserve to breed. Karchik, the producer. Listen, the best thing for you would be raw food cleanse. That's a good one. If you got on, for example, 90-day juice fast, not good. In fact, juice fasts are actually overrated. There's new information coming out. Like I just saw it this week or end of last week. I belong to a bunch of groups, personal trainer groups, and there's some new information out that juice fast is not all they cracked up to be because of the sugar level and the insulin effect. When you start talking insulin, then you get the reason why. You can cleanse, heal your body, regain your health. I've experimented with this for short periods, 5 days, 10 days, and the results are real. Get yourself a professional blender. I have one, and you're good to go. You can also help out your brother as well. Yeah, I want you to look for something called Essiacs, ESSIACS. Just go to the YouTube search. Both he and I are now taking that every night. That's the stuff I ordered that came the day my little brother died. Fuck. Michael Duffy. Hey, Mr. Supreme. I need to talk to you about something. I removed my last comment because it's a tough subject. Send me a message on here. Carlos Otero. Shout out to King. Thanks for all the training. I will remember it for life. Thanks, Carlos. Michael Nolan. It's good to take a break. You don't want dating in your life every day. Like women want other things to focus on. So nothing centers around a woman. I'd say have women dating, fishing, whatever you want to call it, at 50. Your passion, whatever that is, at 40. Alone time and work at 10%. So he's talking percentages. Lightning. I guess I'm better off struggling in my dating life than giving up on it. The lack of success does not make someone a failure. I don't see why you're single, Lightning. I don't get it. You must be a big goof off and you hide behind humor, or something's really wrong. You don't seem like the kind of guy that should be single. You're a great life coach and mentor, and I appreciate all the effort you put in. You seem like you're on the brink of rage and quitting. Nah, I've been on the same rage since early 2000s. That's what I was talking to my boy Grease about, is find something that you're passionate about. This, doing this, helped me adjust to being in a relationship with just one person. So if you go back to my past shows, that's why I have so much passion in my shows. Now you want to hear some ranting and raving, listen to those. Sandra Ross, not having hair is not a big deal. Hair doesn't make a person. That's why I actually like being bald. I learned to like it. Itaku, quite frankly, he needs help. Extremely unstable under video response. The light. Sorry for your brother. I gave my grandma apricot seeds, or apricot, however you want to pronounce it, and the doctor said she was doing better than the average patient. I don't know for sure if that was it, but it's worth a try. My brother has something called triple myeloma. It's a precursor to leukemia, and it attacks the bones. His bones hurt. It makes him tired, and we'll know what stage it is next week. But his wife was listening to a lecture. A guy has had it for 18 years. You take pills. You don't do chemo. You take pills. It's that type of treatment. For Hermit Dude, Amarala, at least try to better yourself. If you don't want sex or women, fine, be that way. But build yourself into a stronger, successful man that is happy, confident, and ready to face any challenge life brings. Exactly. You jelly bra. The audio is crappy in this video. Usually it sounds fine. Yeah, Grease 2000 gave me this, sent me his old laptop, and because it has 20 gigs, I was amazed. So he said, hey man, I'll give it to you. I said, okay, cool. And he reformatted it. I don't think he put the microphone drivers in there, because I believe I'm using the speakers, because the speakers can act as a microphone, by the way, people. And that's why it's coming out the way it is. Either that, or the laptop has poor audio drivers in it. Check engine light on. Okay, under the two women. That's the other one that draws a lot of comments. Guys, these bitches are lying. Can tell by their eyes. Well, I'm not gonna bother finishing it. Thanks for the comment, Joey. On the response video, Jay Jackson. Love this shit. Thank you, Jay Jackson. Okay. MGTOW. Hermit. He actually speaking back, it looks like. I understand the grievances here, because yes, men's rights, MGTOW, and other men's activism has become home to a bunch of... No, this is the same one. Reposting the same thing. Gavin St. Clair. D. Jones, what part of the country do you live in? 2 days ago, D. Jones is saying that the problem is that men focus too much on pleasing women. I pay for sex and only deal with prostitutes. Yeah, I believe I've read that one. It's disgusting. He's a trick. And he's justified himself through logics to justify his just being a trick, addicted to prostitutes. That's sad, D. Jones. You gotta live a life like that. And it's sad you... oh, it looks like Gavin St. Clair is like that also. How many of you guys are tricks? Somebody let me know. You buy prostitutes, and you use some fake shit to justify yourselves with. Speak up. Ben the Man said, for all you closed-minded motherfuckers that think looks is all that matters, I'm watching the story of the world's fattest man. He is 900 pounds, and he found love. The woman even helped pay for one of his surgeries. He needs to be able to walk. There we go. Marcel. That's normally a black name in this country. So, in other words, in order for under nice guys, of course, under nice guys, that's the other one that gets all the comments. For the modern nice guy to get pussy, he has to be rich to get some pussy that bad boys get for free. That's so fucking sad. No. Don't know how you got that, Marcel. How about you become a nice guy with an edge? A nice guy don't take shit off of women. That costs you nothing. Don't put them up on pedestals. Basically, acquire the qualities that women find attractive in bad boys. Stop giving the pussy away to bad boys. As decent people, if we learn to acquire the same similar qualities without being assholes, we'll get more women attracted to us, and we'll take it away from the bad boys. It should be that, here's how it should be. The bad boys should be jealous of nice guys with an edge. Nice guys with that edge, you know, the leaders, the confident males, they should be leading out there in the dating game. They should be the only ones practically getting the pussy. But it's not like that. Supreme, like Nolan says. I joined one of those hookup sites for people just wanting sex. What I realized, a lot of women on there really up for just sex. It's a good funnel to use. Not for me. Diseases, trash. You'll find that a lot of those chicks are fat. Not a good path there, bro. You also don't learn the game. You don't learn the game. You'll still stay stuck on the same bullshit you're still stuck on. You don't overcome shit. If you even can get sex on those sites. We have one in this country. I don't really care what the name of it is. The sister to alt.com. I don't care. Okay? So don't bother posting it. But we have actually a couple of them in this country. And when I first got online, that's one of the places I went to check them out. And I got some responses. Nothing I ever checked out. I just looked at the people on there. A lot of fat chicks. A lot of bisexual chicks. Looking to look up other chicks. So, good luck on that. Lightning. Is being good looking all about genetics, or is it having that calm look in your face? Good looking is just genetics. Anybody can have the calm look in their face from inner confidence. And both will equally attract females. I shouldn't say equally, but both will attract females. Okay? Spring roll. Why this guy? Don't know the name of the video. Guys want a girlfriend. Stop looking at them as something to achieve. This guy was just narcissistic and didn't put himself out there. Few decent girls care about what car you drive or how big your guns are. Thought this should be common sense. Thank you for the comment, Spring Roll. Now, who was I talking about in that video? Whatever. Brother Knowledge, great video under Don't Break Ya Balls. Victor Morales. What's a good product to purchase from you on how to talk to women to make them have a mental orgasm? Female mind seduction. Iverson. No, let me go back to Victor Morales. Or basically what one of your products that will teach me how to talk to women when first meeting her to turn her on or make. I don't have a product like that. That will you go up to a chick and you can hypnotize her into having an orgasm and make her want to sleep with you. I don't have a silly ass product like that, Victor Morales. That's some kind of magic shit. I don't do magic. I do real life shit. Okay? So don't order that product I just talked about. Don't believe the shit that's on the internet also, how you can walk into a bar and hypnotize a girl right there. What if you're Latin, but what if you were a nerd? You know, hi, you want to be very sleepy? You think that's gonna work? Iverson, will you let me join the Facebook group? It's under Aaron. Oh, you're the guy. I just kicked you out again. I think that's you, Aaron. Okay. I sent you a note, asked you who the fuck you are. But yeah, Iverson, come on in there, bro. I know who you are. Put a photo up. I like to see who people are. You know, I don't like to see the blank shit. Because that means you're bringing the same weird shit you do in real life into my private group. No, bro. You got to come as a man, okay, Iverson? You can't do the cowardly shit you're doing online. Like you got the Joker as your avatar. You got to come as a man, okay? I don't have dreads right now, but I'm getting some. And you're black? Are you black? Huh. Okay, he also says, I kind of had that shit too, under 95215. Would like to stare. I think it's because my face is pretty asymmetrical, funny looking. I'm not just the only one that notices the stares. It's pretty weird when motherfuckers just stare at you. Ah, my son Kionta. When you have a woman that pays for a lot of stuff, but she sees all the women at work who have men that give them everything, how do the women perceive you? Don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand. When you have a woman that pays for stuff, she will justify it, by the way. They will justify their heads. So you're talking about how do they perceive you? Because if you're with the girl, she buys you everything. It actually blows up in the head. It actually makes them cement it harder. Okay? When they start paying for stuff, they're investing in you. By the way, few women have men that pay for everything, especially if they're at work. Those kind of women don't work. Okay? Her female co-workers have men that buys. When do you know brothers to buy shit? Even Caucasian dudes to buy jack shit. Think about it. You got to formulate your questions on reality, not something that you made up in your head, concocted. There, Kionta. Okay? Malcolm Randall. Here's a real question. And don't break your balls. One time I approached a girl at the club, had small talk with her. A few minutes later, her boyfriend showed up, ready to fight me for approaching her. Okay, let's stop right there. Malcolm, did she give you eye contact that said come over? No. You walked around the club, saw a hot chick, ran up and approached it. It's your fault. Okay? It's your fault. So there's no talk about how can you avoid this shit. The only way to avoid it is if she gave you favorable eye contact, you know, eyeball to eyeball, and smiled, because that's the invitation to come on over, then it becomes her fault. What do you do when a man confronts you for talking to a girl that just happened to be his? They don't just happen to be theirs either. If I wouldn't make that mistake, but if I did, oh, I'm bad. My bad, bro. I didn't realize she was taken, and walk off. Who the fuck starts a fight over some jackass shit like that? You approached her. You ran around the club, hoe chasing, giving away your power, and ran up to the bitch. He has every right to flat glass you. But you're the person in the wrong. Because that's a bigger problem than rejection. Well, you were in the wrong, and no, don't make fun of him, as Lightning says. It's not about, it shouldn't be a fight. You stepped up to his woman, okay? You'd feel the same way. It's not about fighting, Lightning. Exactly, Justin Scott. I would confidently tell him that it was my mistake. I didn't know. Tell him in a way you don't come off as scared. Like I said, my bad, bro. I'm not scared, but my bad. That was my bad. Didn't realize she was taken. And walk off. Sylvester, he said the exact same words. Tell him, my bad, dude. I didn't know she was your woman. Exactly. As you slowly ease back. I wouldn't slowly ease back. After that, I'd turn my back on him and walk away. Of course, peeking over my shoulders. I did nice things for women and still had sex, so what's his point? This is crap. You've been listening to this? Wow. Cardell Turner. Of course, they're nice guys. I'm going to pull that video up and see how many fucking comments I have.
SunPower reminds you, not all soul.
Okay, I've got 837 thumbs up, 171 down, over 103,000 views. Oh, can't tell how many comments I've had. Some weird guy looks like a girl. He looks like a chick. A fat chick. Says, I guess I should fucking kill myself. Damn, I need a drink. Well, this video pulls a lot of fucking comments. Looks like I've caught up to all my comments today. Good. So I take care of this before it gets too bad. Messages. Oh wait, I just saw Raul, and I want to thank Raul. Supreme, you end up in spam there, Raul. I'm very sorry to hear that your older brother has cancer. I wish you and your family much strength in these painful times. I hope sincerely that your brother will be cured of that venom. Stay strong. Thank you, Raul. Really. Messages. Rigo Free. Thanks for your tips and advice again. Just wondering, how do you find the time to set up a business of your own when you work a decent job, full-time job that requires lots of work in your off hours? There's only 24 hours a day. I can't magically create extra hours. So you do it when you can. Shamro, I have a question for you. It's not really about the game per se, but it's very important. It's about my mother and her lifestyle habits. Her eating habits are terrible, and I know they are contributing to many of her health issues. She recently turned 56, that's my age, and suffering a myriad of health problems, which she is on 5 different medications for. She's overweight, suffers from high blood pressure, joint pain, and chronic fatigue. She blames her fatigue on work, but I know her lifestyle is a major contributor to her problem. My father and I tried for years to get her to change the way she is living her life, and she often shuts us out when we bring up how unhealthy she is living or switches the conversation. Yeah, she's not going to be able to change till she's ready, which may not ever happen. This may kill her lifestyle. She's not even exercising. I'm worried about her because her mother passed away from a stroke. Yeah, her older brother passed away from a stroke. She's on her way to. That's how her family goes out. She's on her way to it now. The only thing you do is tell her that you love her and you would like to see her live longer, and hope that reaches her. Problem is, she probably has food addictions. Fizzle. Hey, what's up, man? I need some help. This is from 2 weeks ago. I'll try to make a long story short. I have been following your channel in general for like 3 years now. Just off your videos and the game you spit. I've already read this. Got some good pussy and some not so good pussy, but either way, I got it in. I know I still need to purchase your books because I still have major flaws in my game. One major flaw is my confidence, low self-esteem, low shyness. It's just not the mental aspect that's fucked up, but the physical aspect as well. Like the blushing, excessive sweating. Yeah, I've read this. Okay. We're all caught up, fellas. Let's see. Hopefully, my recent videos hasn't caused anybody any harm or make you upset. The recent video I was talking about, what was I talking about? The coming war, the upcoming war, as being going to be a spiritual war. What I was trying to get across is that white people, you guys run the world. Okay, we know that, right? You guys rule, absolutely, in your areas, and which is the majority of the planet, right? Within your group are a subset of white folks that are what's called racist, and those people are like pit bulls being controlled by the people that actually run the whole planet. And what I was saying was that the spiritual war is going to have to start and happen, first of all, within the white race. That means the people that are the ones that have racial issues over skin color, they're going to have to mature and grow up. Now, I've noticed, and I study things, I've noticed patterns. One fellow on my site objected to me theorizing that maybe it's because of the Neanderthal DNA that causes this certain subgroup to do extreme violent acts towards black people. And if that caused you any pain or something like that, I apologize. I'm getting that information from actual white folks who are studying, Neanderthals. Their goal is to separate European lineage away from black. Let's say that you're actually descended from Neanderthals. Have you noticed, and I've said this before, they're putting more redheads in your TV shows? Check. Count how many redheads there are. Now go back and look at a TV show from 10 years ago, and you'll see you don't see redheads in there. But in almost every show that I watch, they have a couple of them. I was watching a show called The Whisperers, where they have the little boy. He was a total carrot head. The wife that died, the girl that the mother of the redhead. Then they had other people throughout the whole show. That is what they're doing. They're working on you guys on a subconscious level, okay? To separate you from African lineage. Everything starts with you guys. I'm just referring to white folks. All the programming starts with your level to get you guys to buy into something and believe it. If you are awake and pay attention and look at the big picture, so I got a guy on my site arguing, he's looking at the little picture, plus he was programmed by Alex Jones, and he's a black dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. He didn't like the whole Neanderthal thing, although he did start looking at some of the information, so it was interesting. But he said it's silly. A kid telling me something silly. I'm not saying it's the real reason why, but we got to find what else. Why? Let's ask the question: why? Why are there some dominant society people that have no problems killing? See that cat? He came in through the back door. Killing black people. Why should black people have to say our lives matter to this group to get them to eat? They don't care. So that whole Black Lives Matter thing is not a waste of time. But if they're trying to reach the people that are like that in that subset, it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time because white people who are decent are standing with black people and doing their own marches against their own race. The people that are the Alex Jones people, they believe that the war is going to be dictatorship coming down. The New World Order is going to run everything and turn us into a communistic government. Although communism is starting to fall around the world. It started with Russia. Hopefully China will fall. People in China are actually getting out on the internet and seeing how other people live. So the seed's set. Give it 20 years, 30 years, eventually something's going to have to happen over there. Communism is not the way to live because it's still all about those who have and those who have not. The same old fucking problem again. So, in listening to Greece's grandmother's words, when she said, the white man will eat itself, that means go against itself. We see white people coming together with black people to say that Black Lives Matter. We see white people standing by themselves, protesting that Black Lives Matter. Those are the white folks that are awake, okay? They have become more spiritual, versus the ones who are not awake and who lack spirituality, basic humanity. The ones that can actually shoot an unarmed black man. And we've seen multiple evidence of that. Take, for example, the guy, and he's going to jail for it, the cop. Shot a black guy while he was running. And some kid filmed it. Those kind of people that need to be addressed in order for the world and the world to start solving its problems. It's got to occur at the top first. Well, that means if you're white, that means within your race first. It does no good for everybody else to wake up and become, more spiritual, whatever, if the people at the top who rule everything, it doesn't happen there first. It happens there first, and it will trickle down. Okay? That's why I'm not pointing the finger at, there are bad black folks out there that can do heinous things, and there are bad Africans out there that can do heinous things, like cut children's legs off and shit like that. I don't mean any racial offense. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but trying to show you another picture. Don't be so closed-minded that you can't see it. Now, I know the other picture. That's what I believed myself, is, like, for example, this kid's ideology that he's saying is going to happen, there's going to be a dictatorship in the United States. Alex Jones. I listened to Alex Jones for a while. I realized, that he's mostly a loudmouth that's into his own attention. That's what he mostly cares about, his own attention. He's enjoyed the power that he's got from his shows a little bit too much for me. He's also a racist. There's even a guy that's, I believe he's about a quarter black, who hides it does his own shows on there. He's that guy that's a little bit kind of colored looking. Straight hair and all that, but you could look at him and tell that he's got African ancestry. Anyway, it's unfortunate the world is the way it is, but in order for it to change, it's got to start at the top. Okay? The war that's coming is not necessarily going to be a super bloody war, but it's going to be more of a spiritual war. White folks are going to start demanding their brothers and sisters wake up. You can't do this. All lives do matter. When my race had to beg back in the 60s, that's what we basically did, for civil rights, it was the people at the top that allowed it to happen. If they didn't agree with it, it never would have happened. And it took pushing from the bottom level and the middle level of white society to make that happen. And that's what's happening again. The middle level white folks are standing again with black folks. There was a black family that went camping, and a racist in the middle of the night came down with a shotgun and chased them all out of there. And the white people in the community were horrified by it, and they raised $1,400 to get the family to come back and try camping there again. There was a 60-plus-year-old, grandmother in there. They had to, she fell and damaged her face and from running. They all had to run. That kind of stuff, this whole racism problem, that has to be taken care of in order for us to come together as one race, which is the race of man. The issues within the white male of that subset has to be healed. Whatever their issues is against other races, it's got to be healed. Unfortunately, males in America have been programmed with a bunch of bullshit about other races. I think I talked about it in my podcast shows, the old black and white TV shows or movies. For example, Amos and Andy. Look for it on YouTube. Amos and Andy. Those black guys had to be taught to talk like that. And they were told to talk like that to make white America see blacks as being uneducated and stupid. Go back to Step and Fetch. He pretended to be that stupid. He also made $1 million off of it, so that white men would feel good. If you don't know who Step and Fetch was, he was a black guy that, yeah, so I'm gonna kill him. My name is Lightning. And he walked real slow and called Lightning. That's why I was teasing Lightning about his name. Yeah, so well, I get there, boy. That's a mimicking of the way he acted. It wasn't like that in real life. So white America has been programmed with all this shit through the media, and they're trying to make it worse. They're now trying to make the whole Black Lives Matter thing into a terrorist group. Now, when Black Lives Matter, or when the protesting first started in Ferguson, the people in Ferguson, when they started doing the rioting, they didn't know who the fuck those people were. I submit that it's the same old shit they did back in the 60s, the exact same program. They hired black people to come within the black community and do that type of shit. There's a good video right here on YouTube of a guy who went to jail for this shit, who worked for the FBI. You can find it. Great video, documentary. He talks about who paid him, how he was paid, who his handler, what his missions were. Suddenly, people they'd never seen before showed up in Ferguson. All it takes is one handler, one controller, who knows how to incite to start this shit up, so that the Black Lives Matter program loses its power, its momentum, its message. Notice everywhere they go now, there are somebody within those groups, those protests, start some shit. Think about it. If you were the power people at top, would you not send subversive people within to break that shit up, how they did in the 60s, and it worked in the 60s? Would you not repeat the same program? You got to think and use your head, fellas. A lot of you guys are not aware of this shit. That's your problem. So I was surprised a fellow on my forum who's from Eastern Europe actually thought the Black Lives Matter was started by that white guy that was pretending to be black, and it was a racist group. He listened to Fox News, unfortunately. I caution you guys about listening to Fox News. That's one of their tools. O'Reilly and Sean Hannity, they're like little media pit bulls for the people that are in power. The billionaires sit back. The what's that guy, the basketball owner's name? Yeah, whatever his name was. And I don't really care. Somebody's going to write, I don't really care. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I don't really give a fuck. Don't nerd out, okay? Those people. They always call the shit to minimize it, conspiracy shit. If you think that America is not run by the billionaires, and the billionaires buy the politicians they want, if you are that stupid, we can't have a conversation. Period. My conversation with people who are awakened. Now, with the fellow that's on my forum, he's one of those people that follows Alex Jones. He's African American. He tries to speak in a certain way, enunciation way that drops all that, claiming he's from Arizona. I've been to Arizona. I know a blacks speak out there. I submit to him that I went through the same shit. It's caused by racial insecurity. To speak like this, I can't really do his voice. Well, I think that you should really, I think that it's actually kind of silly. I've heard his voice on the TBA show, and I thought he was a white guy. And speaking, it's not about speaking well, it's about speaking and enunciating a certain way that I was pointing out to him. We all should be speaking well. But for a kid, a male in his 20s, that's just kind of a joke. And that's why he's having trouble in the dating world. But that's another story. So let's get back to the original point, which is the upcoming spiritual revolution. That's where a lot of the experts say it's going to happen. Not just me. That's where some of the old people say it's happening. For example, as I said, Greece's mother. She predicted the rise of the homosexual back in the 70s or 80s. She predicted the rise of the homosexual. So a woman way over in, I guess she was in Jamaica, I believe. They might have been over here. Now they're back in Jamaica. I know that. She predicted a lot of things that came true. That's what made me, feel good that our race still has it. We can read the energy. And that's what I'm trying to tap into, is reading the energy, studying the big picture, looking at stuff that they don't want us to see. For example, putting the redheads in all these damn TV shows. Again, that's to glom onto the whole Neanderthal lineage, because they believe that Neanderthals also had red hair. I just listened to a video this morning that said red hair came out of Africa as a mutation and spread out throughout Europe. New information. We didn't know that. We know red hair is a genetic mutation. It's the same as blue eyes. A fellow just wrote me this morning, white boy just wrote me this morning, talking about blue eyes came out of one area of Europe, near the Baltic Sea, I believe it was. And well, he wanted to attribute to space. Although he wasn't aware that scientists already determined that blue eyes are a genetic mutation, but they adapted to the low light levels during the Ice Age, so it gave them superior eyes versus brown eyes during the Ice Age, because the light was so cutting. You notice that people with blue eyes, you can't see very well during the daytime. You need more dimmer light. It's a genetic adaptation. Mankind produces the kind of men it needs to adapt to the environment. Again, you have to study quantum physics and study morphic fields. That'll give you the reason why. So, again, I mean no offense. I'm not just trying to point the finger at white people, if you're white, Lightning and all the rest of you. You guys, if you're listening to me, you're decent human beings. As I keep being called, I'm that fat black guy. She doesn't bother me. But you're listening to a black man to learn about life. That means you're a decent human being. I don't read the number of times I get called a nigger. I just erased 2 of them this morning when I looked inside the spam. I didn't bother reading the rest of the spam, but I can go in there and check real quick how many times I get called a nigger and shit like that. It's kind of sad, if you know what I mean. So what people don't realize is that I have a filter. If you use the word nigger, you go to my spam folders. That way I don't have to bother seeing it. And I got to figure out how to delete the spam folder, as a mass, to do it en masse. Just get rid of everything in there. Even though there are some good things in there. Let's see. Nigger. Let's see. I guess I just deleted today's. Yeah. I have to go to another page. Whenever time I go in there, I always delete those first and block the people. Because if you come in, with racial issues, we can't even have a fucking conversation at all. There's just nothing. Amun Ra, he ended up in there. He said niggers comes from Niger, which is Latin for black. It actually goes back further than Amun Ra to Asia. There's a good video put out by a fellow who did a lot of research on that word. Now, the word Sambo Deja, that's the name of a black god in certain parts of Asia. You need to look into that there, Amun Ra. The word Negro does mean black in the Latin language. For some reason, preto is the word black in Portuguese. But do the research a little bit more research on that word. Now, the word was co-opted by white folks and turned into a bad word. Words have power. That's one thing you guys got to recognize, is words have power. And you can change the power of a word by changing its association, which is what they did. So now it's a bad thing. It connotates bad energy. To get into stuff that Night Shroud likes, magic and metaphysics. European system of magic, they learned how to not have access to the pineal gland. They learned other systems. The power of word and their spell evocation and cast and all that stuff. They learned about the power of words. They learned from Egyptian scrolls, but they still learned about the power of words. So they learned to change the power of word by change association. Very, 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 very powerful tool. That's why if you're in bed with a girl, you learn to use the power of words in her mind, they will become addicted. So that's why one reason why I'm really against the word. I'll use it every now and then, but I'm actually against the word nigger, nigga, all that, nuga. And I've been guilty of using it as well. And I've been trying not to anymore, because I know the power of that word. The more you say it, the more it puts out negative energy. You got to understand that everything on this planet is about energy. Everything in the universe, our universe, is about energy. As our physics teaches us. I don't know if you guys ever took basic physics. Everything is energy. Words are energy. Money is energy. Represents energy. Money. Okay? So if you start from the center core, everything is energy, and then start back engineer everything from there, you get the picture. I look at the energy that's going on the planet, as I said, and I look at the patterns. I look at what they're showing us and try to see behind to the real truth. My whole Neanderthal thing is just a theory. It's not the main point. The main point is the war is going to be a spiritual war. I now accept that. I'm not saying there's not going to be violence. But before the change, the big change happen, it's going to have to go through a spiritual revolution. Sure, we may have all this stuff. You know, black people may be enslaved. They already got the trains with the leg bolts ready. They already have the FEMA camps ready. We may get enslaved. And they may take that to push the rest of white people to say, you know what, we're done. You rich motherfuckers, get the fuck out. You billionaires, get the fuck out. Because nothing can happen until they get pissed off. And that's the truth. I'm not trying to gas up to my black brothers, you know, white folks, but if you really analyze the situation, you'll see that in order for something to happen, they got to make it happen. And the only way to get something done is to push against them or to make them aware so the people that are decent human beings can start creating some change. That's the only thing that the Black Lives Matter movement is good for, in my opinion, is bringing white and black together so that the white people could say to the evil white people, enough. Stand down. Stop killing these people. That's what it's going to take.